If that were to happen, it wouldn't be just the big metropolises like Tokyo and Osaka that would be destroyed. The entire Earth would probably be laid waste. To prevent something so frightening and tragic from coming to pass, people all over the world are pouring their energy into a new movement opposing the use of atomic and hydrogen bombs. As one small member of that movement, I've tried to do my part in writing a novel, the tale you now hold in your hands. Reading this book in that context will make it all the more informative and interesting. That was July 1955 that he wrote that. So, when I no sooner read this at the beginning of the book than I realized, okay, I want to translate this. As a big, peace-loving hippie myself, I definitely want to do all I can to share the story about the horror of nuclear weapons. Something that still hasn't gone away and still continues to haunt our imaginations, even though the Cold War is over. Let's see. Gosh. So it wouldn't be Godzilla if I didn't read a part about him tromping through Tokyo, right? So one of the fun things about translating this book was that there's so many sound effects in it. Like there were so many. Like how when you read comics or manga, there's often the kind of sounds that are written into the text. This book too had so many sounds splashed across the page that at times it almost is ludicrous. Like how many ways can I figure it out to say crash, bang, and boom? I felt like I had to really use my creativity here. In Japanese, there are lots and lots and lots and lots of words to make sounds. So let me find a place to fill the sound. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. Okay. Here. Oh. All right. So here's actually, this part doesn't take place in Tokyo. This part takes place in Odo Island, the place where Godzilla comes from. He hasn't quite arrived on shore yet. Let's see. Oh no, let's start here. Perhaps it was better that no one could see what was going on in the darkness, but it seemed as if a pitch black whirlwind was whipping through the forest, doing whatever it liked. The villagers could hear an eerie howling that seemed to shudder up from nowhere. Ooh, crack, and a rustling noise. Right before the fleeing villagers, one of the great big trees, twice as big as the ones that were bowing their heads before, snapped off right in the middle and fell to the ground with a loud thud. Shinkichi and the others dashed home so quickly that they hardly remembered how they got there. They continued to huff and puff for so long it seemed like their breath might never return to normal. Masaji, do you think something's really going to happen? I can't stand it. My heart's beating so fast. Shinkichi, you don't think. Don't think what? That he might have climbed ashore. He? Yeah. The wind just now was like the wind I felt the other day. Really strong, so strong it might blow you over. But it was warm and strangely sticky on your skin. But here on the island? I don't know. How should I know? Godzilla needs something to eat. If he came ashore, we're in trouble. Anything could happen. The boy's mother looked anxiously at their children's faces, then looked up to offer a votive candle at the Buddhist altar on the wall. Her fervent prayers rose into the air, but inside she was praying that her irreplaceable precious sons would be safe from disaster. Shh. Oh, made a sound. Shinkichi, did you hear something strange? Yes, like heavy big footsteps. Oh my God, it's coming this way. The two terrified boys looked at one another. Masachi, Shinkichi! Their mother, Omine, had stopped praying and to run over and hold her two sons close. But as she took them in her arms, she burst into tears, not knowing what to do next. Meanwhile, the sounds seemed to be getting closer and closer. With each step, the house shook. Then, with a whoosh, the wind blew through. The sound of cracking wood, then crash, the tree had been knocked down. From outside in the darkness, they heard intermittent screams. It was as if the bowels of hell had opened and they were hearing the sorrowful screams of sinners begging for help. Shinkichi couldn't stand it anymore. He grabbed a knife from a desk drawer, looked around and dashed towards the exit. No, Shinkichi, don't go out! Shinkichi's mother frantically tried to stop him, but Shinkichi rushed out into the roaring wind. Shinkichi! Masaji pulled his mother aside and opened the door to follow, but right then, "Ah!" A scream from Shinkichi pierced the roaring darkness. Not exactly a scream of surprise, nor a scream of terror. "What is it?" Masaji flew outside, thinking of nothing but his brother. Who knows what exactly saw them, but he let out a shriek, turned around, and flew back into the room as quickly as if he had been thrown in. "Mom, look out!" Right, as he threw himself on her to protect her, there was a deafening sound of wood breaking, and the ceiling caved in. Lying inside on the ground, Shinkichi raised his blood-covered face in the howling wind and screamed, "Mother! Mother! Masaji!" He kept screaming as he struggled to crawl a little towards the crushed ruins of his house. Lots of sounds, lots of sound effects. I just heard that the audiobook rights were sold for this, and so I can't wait to see what the voice actor does with all this stuff.
Did you include Screedonk as any of the translated sound effects?
No, I don't know.
Screedonk?
I do know it, yeah. There's so many sound effects in here, it's just crazy. Yeah, and as I said, in Japanese, there are all sorts of words to describe different crashing and banging sounds, but in English, there aren't so many, so I had to be creative at times.